Hello, so no date on reading, but I wanted to show you someone. So we would sometimes dog sit my mom's former co-worker's dog. So here he is, that's Mac. I think he's about over 10 years old, so yeah, he's just chill. He likes to hang around where people are, and he likes to nap all the time. He's all very active, and he's so well behaved. We love him. Yeah, that's just my update for right now, because he's leaving soon. We only had him for yesterday until about this afternoon today. But yeah, that's Mac. I just wanted to show him to you. Hello. So I think I forgot to do an intro earlier. I thought I already had an update for this day before I did that part showing you Mac. He already left. So I have about 30 pages left if we were villains. So good. I just finished that scene where we got I think the final reveal. Well, I think one of the final major reveals in this book. It has been a wild ride. I'm gonna be finishing this tonight. I'm just updating before I get ready for bed. 'Cause I definitely am going to finish this because literally 20-30 pages left. Yeah, so again, I'm really loving it. I haven't read any Shakespeare, really. The only Shakespeare that I know is Romeo and Juliet, and I don't think I even read the entire thing. We just kind of read a few passages of it for English, but we never studied the whole Shakespeare, nor we did any kind of plays for it at school because it's not part of our curriculum. So I was not really used to reading Shakespeare and figuring out what the dialogues mean, but even though I was a little bit lost, I still really enjoyed it, and I felt I was close to understanding how actors would have felt, I guess. I mean, I don't know for sure, how actors would be theater actors in terms of them being really immersed in their characters and, being all about Shakespeare and knowing lines, you can recite lines out of the blue and include it in conversations you have with other people and them answering you back with other lines that work for your conversations. It's really fun to read, honestly. The characters are really well written. It really is. It's just a good book, okay? The characters are so nuanced. They're all gray, morally gray characters. Even our main character, the one that we're following, probably even though he is the most good or the kindest and the nicest in the group, he's still morally gray, just all of us, honestly. So I'm really enjoying kind of following, their friendship and how this murder that happened in their really tight-knit group has affected them, and how, well, obviously we as readers know that it's one of them, probably at least one of them, that did it, and there's probably more to the story. Or it could go a lot of different ways. It could be any of them, honestly, and it could have gone a lot of ways for each of them, and how it probably might have ended up with one of them killing it. I did kind of already guess who it was. I felt it was this person that felt the most likely. I mean, I don't have any concrete evidence to kind of point out that it's that character, but from everything that has happened and how they kind of reacted with what happened and how they are now, or just aftermath of it for all of them. Really excited to see where we're gonna go, but for now I'm gonna get ready for bed and finish it. Probably just take 30 minutes to read it, probably less, but yeah, I really like it. I really enjoyed reading this book. It's so dark and atmospheric, even though we're following 6 different characters told from just that one person's perspective. Is it 6 of them? Am I remembering that wrong? So there's Oliver, there's Richard, there's Meredith, there's Ren, Alexander, Philippa, James. 7. So, well, yeah, 6. It still felt like we had a really good grasp of the characters. So I'll be back in a little bit to update you on the ending. I thought this book will not have any more surprising anything at the end. Oh my god. What the oh my god. The ending. No way. No way. No, my imagination is running wild. Oh no. Oh my god. Am I gonna sleep tonight? I don't even know. What? God, it's the same feeling. Okay, as we were nearing towards the end, I felt like I would feel the same way as Colburn did, this detective, for years, where it felt like there was something missing, that there's something else that's not clicking into place, that you have this answer, with Oliver going to prison and pretty much saying that he was the one who killed this person, and knowing that there's probably more to the story and Oliver was most probably not the one who did it. I felt like I thought I was just gonna feel like that. Like there's something not like I wouldn't say unexplained in a bad way, but more like there's much more to the story that we didn't know. Like it's not very satisfying, but not in a bad way. Like it's going to be really ambiguous and unclear, and will always like it will leave your mind kind of like questioning things. I thought that's how we were gonna end it. We didn't, but then we also got a different ending. This is making me so. Oh my god. Seriously, I didn't expect that ending. I probably should have kind of expected it to end that way, but I just didn't. I thought it was going to end somewhere where it feels very realistic in that it's not a perfectly happy or unhappy ending. This book. Oh my god. Okay, well, that's If We Were Villains by Emily Rio. I do have another book that I am planning on reading next, but oh my god. Hello, it's Wednesday night. I just finished reading The Cousins by Karen M. McManus, and this was fun. I really enjoyed this one. Although the mystery aspect of it didn't really, intrigue me. I loved following the cousins, though, our three main characters. But outside of that, the mystery, I felt like the whole, entire story of the mystery is very interesting, and I felt like it could have been done a little bit better. Like, we didn't really get nuggets enough for me to speculate on what the mystery might be and what really happened during that time, that when they got disowned by their mother. So I kind of I didn't have any kind of guesses because we didn't get enough information or nuggets or speculations from the characters and from the people around them that could have made me think of what might be or what have happened at that time. So yeah, again, this was fun. I enjoyed reading it, but the mystery aspect felt a little flat for me. It was very interesting though, like the entire mystery when it was all laid out. It was very interesting, but I wish it was handled differently throughout the story on how we kind of got to the end. So yeah, really enjoyed this one. I have a few books that I want to read for this week. I have this one, How We Fall Apart by Katie Zhao, but I also have, I think, The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. So I want to squeeze them in, but it's already the 28th, so I don't think I'm going to finish finishing. I'm definitely going to finish this before month ends, but in terms of the other one, I don't know. If I'm going to hustle, then maybe I could finish those two, but we'll see. But for right now, it's The Cousins, and I'll be reading this one next. Hello, it's Friday night. I don't know if you can tell, but I was crying earlier. It's because of this webtoon that I finished. Well, it's not completed, but the second season was finished 2 weeks ago. So I finished it and I was really crying, and it's called Seasons of Blossom. I'm not sure, but that it's on Webtoon, the Webtoon app, and it's all of it is available for free. The first season was so cute, really cute, and the second season was just heartbreaking, the entirety of it. I knew it was because of what the story was focused on, but the way the themes were portrayed were to me, very realistic. So there's a lot of trigger warnings for that one, content warnings for suicidal ideation, suicide, depression. So yeah, going into that one, if you guys are going to read it, which I highly suggest you do, but go into that one knowing that it's going to be very difficult to read, especially if you're someone who gets triggered by, depression and suicide. Again, the first season was really good. It has 60 chapters, so I finished that one, and yesterday I finished Unholy Blood, which that one is actually completed. Okay, so Seasons of Blossom is romance, kind of melodrama. The first season was definitely romance, set in high school, and it's so cute, super cute, but I really loved how the characters were portrayed. It was really still heavily focused on the friendships still, coming of age, school and ambitions in the future, and going to college, all of that. I really liked it. So highly recommend reading Seasons of Blossom. And then Unholy Blood is a fantasy about vampires. So it's set in a world where vampires appeared, and there has been an ongoing fight against the vampires for 10 years. And the main character is a pure-blooded vampire that hides her true identity, and the love interest is a detective who works for the vampire hunter department type thing. And it also made me cry a lot, but that was so good as well. Very heavy topics as well. There's child abuse, physical abuse, a lot of blood obviously, and gore, a lot of death. There's also bullying, a lot of trigger warnings and content warnings for that one as well, but highly recommend. It's such a great story. I love the characters. I was also crying last night when I finished it. But the book that I finished right now, or just now, is How We Fall Apart by Katie Zhao. The flow of the story wasn't very seamless. It felt like, very disjointed. This is a YA dark academia book. We are following a group of friends. There were originally 5 of them, but one of their who is like the number one in their school, Jamie Ruan, was found dead, and somebody killed her, somebody murdered her, and somebody started posting on like their school gossip forum thingy called Tip Tap, who calls themselves the Proctor, and implicates the 4 friends of Jamie Ruan, saying that one of the 4 friends killed her, that they all have secrets and had motivations to kill Jamie. And so we're kind of following them as the Proctor reveals their secrets one by one and kind of ensues chaos. We go back to the past as well and getting to know about Jamie. But it's a very character-based book, and I feel like it wasn't executed very well. Again, it felt like very step-by-step kind of thing, where the plan is like to reveal the secrets of each of them one at a time, and then once one of the person's secret is out, we move on to the next one. And it felt like it didn't flow like continuously, the story on itself. Like, again, it's like we get one person's secret and then we move on, and we don't really like deal with it into the next chapter. And it's like it's gone now, like it's done, and we don't kind of process it. We don't like get the full gist of how heavy it is, like how heavy those secrets are and why, and how it affects their friendships now. We kind of get a little bit of it, but not enough that it felt like it was even that big of a deal for these secrets to be revealed, because we moved on right after it, and it's like there's nothing. So there wasn't a lot of impact. And again, I wanted to get to know more the characters, and I felt like it wasn't done very well in here. Like, I just felt very disconnected from the characters. Like, I didn't really care very much what they're going through, what's happening. And the reveal at the end was, I didn't guess it, because there wasn't enough information about the Proctor, or enough clues on who might be the Proctor. Like, we didn't get like a lead on who it might be, and like suspicions and who it might be. Not one. And so it just felt like when we finally got the reveal of who the Proctor was, it was kind of like, oh, okay, that's the Proctor. So yeah, it was very lackluster, and I wished it was a little bit better, like executed better, like the reveals of the secrets, just slow like investigation on who the Proctor is, maybe a little bit more clues, etc. It just came out of nowhere. So, and like there's no build up at all, like there's no suspicions, there's no clues at all on who it might be. So that's How We Fall Apart by Katie Zhao. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I'm gonna check my Libby on which ones. No, actually, I do have one more book that I actually need to read before the month ends, and that is an arc tomorrow or Sunday. I think it's called Margot Mertz Takes It Down. It's a YA as well, with a little bit of a mystery too. I'm not sure if it is that one, but I'll update you guys tomorrow once I start it. But yes, so that is my update for it now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hello, it is Saturday afternoon. I just started reading Margot Mertz Takes It Down, which is the arc that I'll be reading for this month. I'm about 55 pages in. It's about, I don't know, 15%, and it feels very YA. You know how sometimes you know immediately, or like it's so easy to forget that you're reading a YA book when it's like very well written, the characters don't feel too forced to be like teenagers. This feels a little bit forced, so it's like very like you can tell it's really YA because it feels forced. This is supposed to be about this girl Margot who takes these jobs for people when they get like either blackmailed or they send a wrong text, etc., or something like that that involves the internet. So deleting or taking down things off of the internet. And so it's called Margot Mertz Takes It Down. And she's 16, she's in junior year, so about 16, 17. And I think her biggest case for this one is something about a misogynistic website. She makes like these comments like, Mrs. Bly was pretty attractive for a teacher. Her white skin was a little too tanned, especially for winter, but she dressed okay and knew her way around a Sephora. If you passed her on the street, you wouldn't be like, damn. But if you had to stare at her for 41 minutes while she described oxidation reduction reactions, you might find yourself, huh, she's kind of pretty. But right now, she looked like wet garbage. Okay? And then next one is, she was describing somebody. She was like saying, Brighton is our school's rival, if you care about high school rivalries, which I don't. It just feels like, oh, like, why did you have to mention that? Because it kind of feels like you actually do care about it, you know? And then she just goes on to describe this person. He was a teacher slut who slept with most of the district's STEM departments. Okay. And then this one. Why do I need friends? Everyone at my school is lazy or self-absorbed or thinks crop tops give them personality. And then she says, and another one, but I refuse. Dating in high school is a waste of time. 17-year-old boys are immature, weak, and I suspect very bad at sex. You know, it's like trying too hard to make this character very like spunky and modern, but also, you know, very young. And then she just makes these comments like, I jogged the 1.3 miles to school and made up a little time arriving at 7:40, which is exactly when everyone else arrives. Gross. Like, there are some funny moments in here as well, but again, at this point I just felt like her being a teenager and her personality felt a little bit forced, and there were like a few comments so far that I'm not super like big on. So it's just so noticeable because it jumps out from the page. Again, it feels very YA because it feels very forced. And so like the way she describes other people and the way she regards herself as like better than everybody else just kind of comes off as, you know, she's trying to be so much like, I'm not like any other girl, I'm not like the other girls, everyone else is so immature, blah blah blah. I'm like, and I get that could also be seen as kind of how some teenagers think, and so far it's not liking her. And I get that there are some characters that are not super likable, but you like them. She just isn't likable at all to me. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Again, I'm only about 15% in. We'll see by, I don't know, maybe the 30% mark, see what I think. If I like it, maybe I'll continue. If not, I'm gonna have to do it because I'm not really having fun. And right now I'm thinking of reading another book, but I'll update you guys once I get, I guess, the 30% mark. Hello. So I finished Margaret Mertz Takes It Down. It definitely got better. It kind of toned down a little bit the forced young narrative thing that was doing. There were still a few here and there, but definitely way toned down. Pretty much liking it a little bit, enjoying it. The ending was really abrupt. I was expecting a little bit more at the ending. It just kind of like ended. We definitely got more into the story, kind of guessed like one twist in the story. It portrayed a lot of anxiety attacks, and the main character wasn't very likable in the beginning, and I guess that was like the point because she had an arc by the end of the story, which, you know, I kind of liked, but I felt like she was a little bit too unlikable in the beginning. I don't know, but for right now, she was just a little bit unlikable. Too unlikable in the beginning. But I guess finishing it now, I kind of understand why it had to be done that way, but also she could have been done a little bit better, like her character in the beginning. It's okay. I would probably rate it a 3. Yeah, it's definitely lower YA kind of thing. Although it's lower YA in terms of like the feel of it. Deals with revenge porn topics. So it deals with those sensitive issues as well of, you know, consent and violation of privacy, etc. So, you know, it's I feel like it could have been, because it deals with those really like sensitive topics, I feel like the narrative style could have been a little bit more upper YA because the themes are more upper YA. It just felt like lower YA to me. Like it tried so hard to be like youthful and, you know, young because it's young adult. That's the end of this week's vlog. I read quite a few this week. I didn't finish my entire TBR, which is to be expected because I read a lot of really like dense fantasy books this month, but I'm still really happy with my reading. So this is it for this week's reading vlog. I will see you on the next one. Bye.